All right, so I did 4 days in a row. Finally finished it, but I did a workout after my shift, which I don't usually do. Usually it's before my shift. Um, but last night I finished recording the audio for my footage. Um, I literally went right to bed after, um, and I think I was asleep by 8:30. Yeah, that sounds about right. 8:30, maybe 9 p.m. I was asleep, you know? It took me like 2 seconds for me to fall asleep. And I slept for 10 hours. I didn't even set an alarm. I woke up at like 6:30. I was a little bit late to work, you know? You're supposed to be there at 7. I got there a little bit late. My bad. But I needed those 10 hours, you know? It was really that bad. Um, yeah, so it was good. I didn't work out before work today, so I did a little workout after. As far as the workout goes, it was a push day, and it was okay. Um, I didn't do anything too crazy. Just some bench pressing, and then some shoulder presses. A little bit tricep work. Shoulder work there, here and there too. Supersetting. But I mean, yeah, it was. It was really apparent that I had worked the past 3 days. It was my fourth day in a row. I was actually in a pretty good mood considering I slept 10 hours, so I was feeling good, you know, as far as like that goes. My mood was good, but I was making like a bunch of mistakes at work. And, was it, legally, we're not allowed to work more than 20 hours, at the hospital. If you work more than 20 hours, it's a big deal. It's like a big violation. The hospital can get in trouble. You get in trouble. You can't work more than 20 hours. And yeah, I mean, I can see why. Working 20 hours is, after that 20th hour, at that 20th hour, you're just making nothing but mistakes. So, I mean, it's definitely, it's good for like patient safety that, you don't have like um, healthcare workers working more than 20 hours. On the ambulance, people work 24-hour shifts, which I actually did like. I did like those 24-hour shifts. But you do get into that zombie mode. You go to sleep and then you get woken up for a call. And you're like, all right, let's go. It's a call. And you just feel terrible because usually it interrupts like a REM cycle. So you don't feel fully rested. Um, yeah, it's definitely difficult getting up in the middle, like at literally 4 a.m. You go to sleep at like 2 a.m. and you get waken up at 4 a.m. Like, yeah, it sucks. It's almost even worse than like just staying up. Nah, I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't say that. Like, staying up's like the worst fucking thing ever. Getting no sleep at all versus getting 2 hours. The point I'm trying to make is you're tired as hell. Okay. So those 10 hours of sleep are really nice. I'm probably going to do the same thing tomorrow. Just sleep 10 hours. So let's talk a little bit about the lift. I was, again, focusing on my form. I did those front squats in the beginning. It was all 135, just one plate. Mostly focusing on form. And it was good. Then I did the bench press, focusing on the bar path, all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good. I didn't feel like I was getting close to failure, which was probably the biggest thing I should have worked on. I should have been focusing on trying to get to failure. But nah, I was doing the 10-pound dumbbell for my lateral raises, which seems like nothing, but I had realized that I've been using a lot of my traps because I've been moving my like scapula pretty much backwards. So now I've been focusing on like lowering my scapula, bringing them forward. That way it focuses less on the traps, the movement. Doesn't focus on the traps, but rather focuses pretty much just on the shoulders. And I'm feeling a lot of improvement in like my shoulder activation. I've been feeling like really like I've been getting a pretty crazy pump, honestly. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dang, I'm looking pretty wide, which I'm not really used to. Usually I've always pretty much had like pretty small shoulders. So yeah, side note, one of the patients said I had a cute butt today, which feels nice, you know? You work, it's not, I mean, I don't do this quite everyday thing for the outside validation. I mostly just do it so, I have something to like focus on, you know, outside of work, like a healthy habit, a healthy way of coping with all the stress I have at work. Pretty much that's why I do it. But it definitely helps too, the outside validation. So yeah, don't have any plans. Tomorrow, probably just going to try to catch up on some sleep. That's the biggest plan. And I'm very excited for it. Not to do anything. Anyway, yeah, I hope everybody was safe. It was a big couple of weeks in Los Angeles because there was a rave called Beyond Wonderland this weekend, and the week before was Rolling Loud, which is a hip hop concert. So I had friends that work as standby EMTs for both of those, and they said, people are wild out there because they have like it's like a massive crowd. It's like you have the anonymity of being in like a large crowd. So people pretty much just act however they want, very entitled. So I hope you guys were staying safe. It was very fun, very active, a good environment to be in. A lot of people were coming into Los Angeles to go to these raves, which, is cool. I love that. But hearing all these stories from my coworkers about how, like, they're trying to help people at these events and the bystanders are literally, like, getting in their way. They refuse to move. Like, have some respect. That's always annoying. But also, it just is what it is. You make do with what you got. Yeah, I mean, I've worked standby events, and I think I'm trying to get more into it. But, I'm building my jump bag. A jump bag is pretty much like what medics have that can try to deal with as many possible scenarios as you can. So, yeah, that's what I got. It's called a jump bag. Yeah. You just try to deal with as much as you can. As many like various situations, but usually it's like a lot of stuff for like trauma. And then it all depends on like what event you work. Sometimes the events are so boring that's literally just like you hand out water. I used to go to a bunch of protests, and like the biggest thing I would do is like hand out cough drops because people are like shouting all the time. And occasionally people would like fuck up their elbows or get a scab here or there. You do some basic wound care, give out like a cold pack. But occasionally, sometimes a pepper spray comes out and now you're flushing out eyes. It happens pretty quickly, so you just always have to be prepared. But a lot of times it is boring as hell. But it's a good side gig. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun working standby events. I mean, a lot of it was like movie sets too. Yeah, sorry, kind of a side tangent talking about standby. I could go a lot more into depth, maybe give it its own full video. But yeah, definitely very active past couple of weeks. But I enjoy the energy. It's nice to see all these people come in. I had a couple friends, come in from out of town back to Los Angeles. So that was always cool, But yeah, hope everyone was staying safe. Also, we saw car crashes, car crash victims. People were under the influence driving from those events, which, just don't drive under the influence. Just you get away with it for a while until you don't, and then your life comes crashing. So, yeah, stay safe out there. That's all I really got for you guys today. Hope you guys have had a good week. Okay, bye.